Hi, and welcome back to our second segment of this week. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Steven Johnson, and in this segment we're going to talk about the fights coming up this weekend. And I'll tell you what, Steve, take it away and let us know about the fights. I know we got some HBO fights and we got some coming up. Tell us about the upcoming fights.
Well, once again, Al Heyman is doing a good job of at least keeping us slightly entertained. We've got on NBC Premier Boxing Championship Series. We've got Beibut Shumanov and BJ Flores. They're at the Palms Casino in Las Vegas, and then later on at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, we've got on HBO. We've got Sergey Kovalev. Everybody's been waiting to see him come out again, and he's taking on Kovalev Mohammadi at Mandalay Bay. So Las Vegas is going to be hopping Saturday night, Aurelio. Shumanov and BJ Flores. BJ's been doing a lot of commentating lately. What do you think about that fight?
BJ, there again, I think we got a fighter that's similar to Areola, with the exception that Areola at one time had proven himself. Okay, BJ, he's never really proven himself, in my opinion. He's come close and he's come up into that contender status, but he's never went over the fence to prove himself as a strong contender with that championship qualities. I think he's still knocking on that door. And then of course he became an announcer and got a little comfortable in announcing. And let me tell you, announcing is a lot better than going in that ring and getting hit and going into combat. So maybe that's where he's leaning toward going to, because this fight here, I'll tell you what, if he's not on his game, he's not going to win this. He's not even going to come close to winning this if he's not 100%.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think BJ Flores, once again, putting the cart in front of the horse. This is a guy that really hasn't proven anything. He's analyzing, very critical of boxers, whether you think it's warranted or not, but very critical. Now he has a chance to put up or shut up here against Shumanov. I clearly expect Shumanov to stop him. And it might be ugly the way he stops him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have no problem with the criticalness. I mean,
I do. When you haven't proven anything, Aurelio, and you're there criticizing other boxers.
Well, no. I'm gonna back him up on this one. Okay. I'm gonna go against you on this one, because he's been in the ring. He's been in the ring, and regardless if he's made it over that plateau to become a championship quality fighter or not, he's been in that ring. He knows what it takes to the ring. Whether he's done it or not, he knows what it takes. So he can be critical about the actions, what he sees, because he knows. I have a problem when you got other announcers that never step foot in the thing, and they're in there talking about what this guy has to do to win, and that was a punch. He went down on a simple punch. That's where I got a problem, because they don't know what a simple punch is. But when you got announcers like BJ Flores and Paulie Malignaggi, even going back to Foreman, these guys know what it is. You can strategize and you can analyze and you know what it takes to win, regardless if BJ ever had it to do that. He knows what it takes to do that.
It's funny that the two analogies you made were to Foreman and Malignaggi, who were world champions. I'm saying with BJ, he's critical, and he will actually say about a certain boxer, he'll say, if he plans on being a championship world title championship caliber fighter, he needs to do this. Well, BJ hasn't done that. That's
but he knows what has to be done.
But he has,
regardless, just like you watching a race car drivers. Okay, they're racing. You may never have stepped into a race car, but if you're a fan and you actually have some experience in driving a race car, you know what it takes to cross that finish line. So you can make an honest analogy of what it takes to do that, even though you yourself are not capable of doing it, because you have somewhat of experience.
That's no way saying you're not capable of doing it, but you can. You can show.
You see what I mean?
You can see what's going on. Okay.
Now you go back to the other announcers, and I'm talking about Bubble Eyes.
Who's Bubble Eyes?
Bart Simpson.
Man, I'm not even.
Okay.
No. Wait a minute. Okay. No, hold on.
This guy's a historian. He watches things, but he has no clue of what it takes to be in that ring, and he has no clue of going in that ring. So I would take a BJ Flores analogy 10 times over this guy that all he's done is read books. and watch TV.
Okay.
Okay?
Once again, editor at InsideBoxing.com. That's where you send your any complaints you have about any commentary here today. No, okay. The next fight, Sergey Kovalev and Najee Mohammadi. That's at Mandalay Bay. Sergey Kovalev, I think he's just kind of staying busy. To wait to see what's going to happen with Andre Ward or whoever wants to step up and down or whatever, between Sergey and Triple G. I mean, they're the topic of what's going on right now. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this fight in particular, I would expect Mohammadi to be competitive. I think everyone now with Kovalev, they're at the point where they're trying to survive. Yes. Let's see if this guy just comes out and fight. As we've talked about for years now, you're supposed to lose. Everyone has you supposed to come out and give it your all. Come out. If you get knocked out, guess what? You're supposed to get knocked out. I just don't want to see this guy come in and try to survive. Let's try to give it all that you got.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, we got the two fighters here. And Kovalev, where's he from?
Kovalev, I think he's from the Ukraine. I think.
Okay, but he's not from the United States. What about the opponent?
Shumanov, I think he's from some Ukraine or Russia or somewhere too.
Okay. See, my point is my point, and I'm gonna get real here, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get honest, and I'm gonna get real. Steve, why we're boxing fans, so we love the sport of boxing. Okay, so we're gonna watch boxing when it becomes at its highest level. When we get to boxers the highest level, and I have no problems with that. My question is, where are all the American fighters? I mean, where are this is the USA, okay? We have drifted away from having. Remember, before we lost the heavyweight division, okay, but the lower weights always were exciting, and they kind of carried us into boxing fans here in the United States. We had someone to cheer about. We had someone to cheer for. We had someone to follow. It's absent now in boxing in its entirety. Okay, now we have to worry about other fighters coming from other countries to give us the exciting competition that we're getting. And I don't know if that's being done purposely by the promoters because it's a financial driven thing where they want to make money. Like Top Rank now, they're focusing on the China fighters, okay? And they're going to China because that's what's bringing them the money. So have they given up hope where unless it's going to make them money, they don't want to put their dollars into an upcoming American fighter? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think that you hit a real sore spot. I think that the United States is really searching for some American fighters. We've got some guys that can carry this torch. We've got like Earl Spence. We've got Mike Reed from Waldorf, Maryland. We've got several young guys that can get the job done. But I think, really, to be honest, really, this attitude of the squeaky wheel gets the grease, like Keith Thurman is doing, and he has a chance to prove. But hold on, Adrian Broner, I think that is played out to a lot of the American boxing fans. We want to see guys who are going to get in there and fight, instead of all this talking. Let's get in there in the ring and show it. And so I think we're going to have these guys are going to have to step up here in America. But I think, like you said, at this point, as far as promoters are concerned, they're going with where the money is. Top Rank Bob Arum's already let you know he's got a nice little toehold on things going over there in Macau, China. Yeah, he's making money. Okay, he's making money, and that's as a promoter. That's your first thing is to make money. So I can't hold that against him. But we got to have these guys, like I said, here in the United States. They have to step up. They have to fight each other, and they have to quit doing all this talking, in my opinion. Quit doing all this yapping. Get in there and fight. The fans will tell you who's the best. Okay, and let's get it sifted out from there.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, because now they're bringing the Russian fighters. They're bringing the fighters they're bringing fighters from out just to provide good competition.
There you go.
And I'm not sure that they don't want to waste their time, but I do want to touch on something. They're not losing the revenue because you look at bottom line is who pays hard money to watch fights, and it's always been this way. It's the Latino boxing fans. Okay, well, there's no Latinos out there right now in the United States or Mexico that can give them what they want, but Latinos will pay to watch a fight. So I mean, they pay to see Pacquiao and Mayweather. They pay to see they'll pay to see these fights coming on this weekend because they're they're true to their fan. You're talking about, you know, any Latinos, your Puerto Ricans, your Mexicans, your Colombians. It's part of their culture, their pastime. If it's not soccer, if it's not football mexicano, then boxing is what they want to watch. So now you take your Bob Aarons and your other promoters, and they're focusing on good fights because they're still going to generate the revenue here in the United States from the Latino audience. You talked about
Earl Spence,
Adrian Broner, the guy in Oakland.
Oh, Andre Ward.
Andre Ward and all these. You know, the Latino people don't care to see these guys.
Yeah,
They don't care to see these guys. But these guys, their head even got bigger with Al Heyman coming in and got free TV and giving them all this money. So now they're saying, well, give me the money. I don't need to fight to prove my worth in boxing. Okay, let me just go ahead and fight, and I'm still going to make this big money. So to me, the way the boxing's headed is more damaging than it is helpful in the United States, because now we're going to be stuck with having to not have highly competitive American boxers into this game. I mean, I'm telling you, it's just not going to happen. I mean,
well, as you already know, right now Al Heyman is starting to catch a lot of heat. You know, it was all, you know, hearts and flowers for the first couple of weeks of the NBC boxing series, but now he's starting to come under heat because, like last weekend, the weekend before, this upcoming weekend, you know, the cards just aren't competitive.
And he's going to have to keep the ratings up.
And the ratings are going to stay up.
Ratings have to stay up.
As you said, there hasn't been a real focus on Latino boxers on what's going on, and so
I'll be honest. I haven't watched much of the free TV, and I'm a boxing fan, so you can imagine if they're trying to get new viewerships to come in and watch the free TV. It's just not. It's more frustrating to sit and watch these fights than it is entertaining to watch these fights.
And I have, you know, I've taken the time to try to check out these fights, and like I said, even this last weekend, Aurelio, you know, this Amir Imam, okay, really good, potentially good fighter, you know, but guess who promotes him? Don King. Okay, and guess what he said after the fight? Immediately the fight's over, guess what Don King is saying? Okay, he's saying, we want Floyd Mayweather. That's what we want, Floyd. And everybody started laughing, and I think it was considered a joke.
It's funny,
you know, but it's too bad.
Same thing with Keith Thurman. You know, he says, okay, well, if Floyd wants me to fight Amir Khan, well, he's got to offer me start at $10 million. Okay, there's no pride in boxing with American fighters no more, and that's a shame. So I know we've gone past our time, Steve. So thank you guys for staying with us through this segment. We'll come back with our last segment where we'll also bring you up to date with some of the amateur boxing, because I'm gonna tell you, these amateurs, we got some pretty good amateurs coming up, and listen, they have to fill that gap of the American fighters. So we stay with us, and we'll be back with our next segment. Until then, keep them hands up.